is my partner in crime, the one and only Daddy Bacon. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, bud. How are you?
You know what? The weather is starting to turn a little bit. It's certainly got all our juices going down here in terms of wetting the line. There's a lot of upcoming events that not only have happened this past weekend, but are upcoming, like the Walleye tournament that we were talking about on the Bay Quitty. There's actually 2 going on this weekend. Plus, we had Under the Lock event that OFAH put on this past. There's so much going on down here, and I feel bad even talking about it because, as you alluded to just before we went live, you guys are still dealing with ice.
We are. Like, personally here on the North Channel Lake Huron, the Aird Bay just let go of its ice like yesterday. The wind finally blew out there. There's still chunks floating out there, but yeah, the weather's definitely not cooperating. Usually by this time of year, I've been out for a couple of weeks now, but we're all chomping at the bit. We're all ready. We're going to hit the water in a couple of days, but our friends further north, unfortunately, they will be ice fishing for at least a couple more weeks. There's no doubt about that. I've heard reports of two feet of ice, like 2 or 3 hours north of me. So how accurate it is, I don't know. That's beer can math. We're not sure how accurate that is.
I love beer can math. Who doesn't love beer can math? 7 more sleeps for Alberta Walleye.
Yeah. We're 2 for us. I think it's 2. Yeah, 2.
Incredible. Yeah, it's
excited.
We're almost there. Again, I was actually interested to know because I've never fished this time of year up your way. But of course, it opens down Lake Ontario Bay Quinte area this weekend. And you had mentioned that it also opens up this weekend in some areas up your way as well.
Yeah, Zone 14, which is the North Channel of Lake Huron, opens on May 1st. I'm not sure about any other zones, but like Zone 10, which is the mainland area inland, Zone 7, 8, and all those other ones, they open on 15th, so May long. 16th. Yeah, no, it's exciting. I like getting out there. It's just an excuse to get on the water, but we're fortunate, so you can get out here, and if the walleye aren't really cooperating, the water the way you want, we can just do a 15, 20-mile run, go after some trout, get some Lakers and some rainbows. So,
absolutely. And I know, Tony, how you doing tonight, buddy? Sault Ste. Marie and some other areas that you had mentioned are experiencing the same things as we are down here in the Muskoka areas with a lot of flooding. So before we get all excited about tournament fishing, let's maybe spend a few seconds here discussing and maybe just offering just some deep, warm thoughts to those who right now currently have investments that are underwater. And it's not over yet. Mother Nature is still dumping water on us. There's more rain in the forecast. So I can't imagine what folks are dealing with. Thank the Lord, knock on wood, I don't have to deal with it down here. But for those up there, Dan, that you know and have spoken to, how bad is it?
It's kind of mixed, right? So like personally where I live, I'm at the mouth of the Spanish River here in town. We're doing okay. We're doing normal. And the water is actually probably on a little bit on the lower side, but only a few miles upriver, they're flooding. Like they've had roads washed out in Sagamok and up in Massey area. So it's amazing just how much of a bottleneck of a river with that much water coming down can cause effects. And then as we were talking earlier, like a Panage Lake, that whole camp society up there, like they're massively flooding. Like they've got warnings for no wake zones because the hydro transformers are in the water. Like they don't want the water.
Think about that. Think about that.
It's unbelievable.
No way, because, and I know down here they were saying the same thing in Muskokas, because as that water laps up on a shore, erosion happens. And let's face it, I'm sure there's some islands and areas that hydro crosses and transformers are a lot closer to the shoreline than we can ever imagine. But up your way, I just know how they run the hydro, and those boxes, you're right, they'd be so darn close to the water line.
Oh, I wish we would have found that picture earlier, but like it's the base of the transformers in the water. So I was like, wow. And, it's kind of like we're experiencing the same problems Muskokas are facing in a little bit different scale because our population is not as dense and it's mostly cottagers as opposed to dwellings. But we are kind of keeping an eye out because we know, like I said, just a few hours north of us where the headwaters of the Spanish River land, they're still frozen. They haven't let go yet. So we still know that's all coming to us. All that snow and ice and that melt is coming towards us. So we got a lot of water coming. The water looks like chocolate milk. I mean, like Lake Erie is probably cleaner right now. So it's terrible looking.
And the train is right on time. Look at that. That's the 810 right there, baby, out of Sault Ste. Marie.
Yeah, and I'm not even outside, and we can hear him. Eh?
That's it. Well, I tell you, it has become sort of a flag post or one of the pillars here on the Power Hour is that train that goes by Danny's place. But very, very cool. And again, our thoughts and prayers are with those folks that are suffering with flooding or um, are on the brink of experiencing the flooding, as Danny had mentioned, because in some cases, you said there's a lot of helicopter traffic running around. So they are monitoring it. And I can't imagine the feeling of anxiety that some of these people are dealing with.
And you know, more importantly, like we talked about earlier, like this is just kind of I think it's more than a rumor that we picked up yesterday when I was in the Sioux. But you know, an angler looks like he got swept away steelhead fishing, and last I heard, and that's a tributary of this Lake Superior. So, and he wasn't a young man; he's a 68-year-old guy, from my understanding. He was a fisher. Again, I don't have all the details. This is just what everybody was talking about. What we know. Sioux search and rescue out in the Gooley area, they were very active. So I definitely think something happened out there. But just a case in point, because I know Southern Ontario, that's a big staple for everybody to go get on those rivers, right?
Especially now, Trout Opener was last weekend, and we've seen lots of great content that has shown up on especially Trout Tuesday, and continues to be added to the news feed. But yeah, trout are definitely running. Water's high. It is flowing, and that was one of the concerns that I was talking to Jay Barnews about on live is with the water flowing as fast as it is, you know, what's that going to do to the spawn? Is this going to be a good year, or are we just going to have a lot of fish that are going to come upriver, do nothing, and turn around and go back? So
it's been a conversation for us as up here as well. Like the river is flowing much faster than I normally see this time of year, but I don't know what the temps. I haven't been out yet, and the clarity, but. I know walleye are no different than any other species. They want to lay their eggs in a good current, not a high current, not something aggressive. But I think in my area there, they'll have no problems in just kind of doing their boat face and go spawn on some shoals wherever they feel comfortable. I think they've adapted better than we actually really think they are. But I'm not a biologist. I'm only guessing here, so I'm only
and as Jay alluded to, I mean, these fish are very resilient and as you just mentioned, very adaptive. Walleye have certainly done that, and that's why I honestly believe that we have shoal spawners in the Bay of Quinte simply because of those flows. If they just couldn't get into the rivers, they went and spawned out on the shoals. Because there's not really a lot of I would say research or science that can explain it. That's to me the best way. That either they just ran out of room to spawn, or because they couldn't get into their typical rivers, whether it was low flow or high flow. Dan Hussey has a question here. Is it just river flooding, or is it like overland flooding as well as in the Muskokas?
In the area that like Penage, it's a multitude of lakes, so it's definitely overland. It's getting into that because we still have frost. My mother-in-law was in her flower garden the other day, and she was only able to have 6 inches down and hit frost, so that water can't penetrate that. So anything that's surface water, but we've had some reprieve from the rain over the last. We had a good storm come in the other night, but it wasn't. I think we got about 15 mils over that period, but it was able to divert it in the streams very well. But from what I've seen in my area, we're doing okay. It's managing to get by. It's not doing a lot of effect, but we do have some areas. But from what I'm seeing from pictures from other areas not too far away, like I said, that Espanola, Sudbury Basin area, there's a lot of areas that are really, really hard to affect. And the thing too, like it's Canadian Shield, so a lot of it's rock, and rock just doesn't absorb water. So even though it's a massive lake system, that water has no choice but to find the weak point. And they're all dammed. They're all man-made dams, and they're having issues with some of the like others. So that's about the best answer I have for them on that.
Yeah, the river here are way too high. I would imagine Emerson's up your way. So yeah, it's a question that I had for Jay, and he was the best one to ask because at the end of the day, I mean, you know, I've been in so many different river systems getting melted eggs out of walleye, and some years were better than others. Obviously, we would see a lot more fish based on water levels, and of course, you know how fast the flow was. But the one thing I will say is I did always like when you would get those. You know, incredible gushing flows is they would clean up the spawning beds, they clean up the river beds and the river banks, and it was a bit of a purge, if you will. So it may not have been a great year that year, but the following year it should be a stellar one, just simply because it would clean everything up. But again, there are people's lives and livelihoods that we have to think about. But yeah.
I know in the water world, I was at one of our plants up in the Sioux, which is on the Gooley Bay at the far end. So it's affected by the Gooley River. And one of the concerns we worry about is obviously the dirty water. That's high turbidity. It plugs the filters. It does a mess of things. And you can visually see it coming out and just find the amount of debris and timber and wood and everything else. Like, this is a real bad time of year on props. So keep that in mind when you're out there. I've hit a lot of stuff this time of year, and I don't go very fast. I'm not doing 50 miles an hour this time of year. There's no doubt about it.
I've been out with you, and I know how you are, and I think that's actually a good time to take a PSA, as they say, and say, take it easy this spring, because we have not seen water like this for a long time. Flooding like we've never seen before for some of us, and it cleans everything out. So any loose timber or anything that has just not been able to, that Mother Nature hasn't been able to clean or get at for a couple years now, is all downriver and is eventually going to be in the lakes. So
it's kind of funny when I talk about the system up here. A lot of people ask the first question, lots of shoals. I said, I'm not worried about the shoals. Rocks don't move, but logs, they move all the time. They're never in the same place ever.
Absolutely. Well, let's hope the beavers are busy, and instead of dropping trees, they'll just do what the folks out there at Beachcomber and the BC did, and just gather some of this wood up and build homes and whatever. With that being said, obviously we're here to talk about a few things. One of which that both you and I are very proud of, based on how it all went down last year, and we're really excited about how this year is going to unfold. And so far, we've been making some posts, and right now, it's the NCOO, which is the North Channel Walleye Open. If for folks who don't know, hopefully we'll be able to enlighten you a little bit tonight. But first and foremost, we can't ever talk enough about the sponsors. But before we get into the sponsors, Danny, maybe explain a little bit about what where the NCOO came from and where it is right now.
Well, that was beer can logic. That's where that came from. No, so the North Channel Walleye Open, it's something that I thought about for a lot of years. We used to have a very good tournament up here called the Sagamuk Fall Classic. That's actually kind of my birthplace for tournament angling, and it's kind of where it was. It was a well-run event. It was a professional event. It was on the Spanish River only, and I kind of got talked into it and fell in love with it very quickly. And it kind of, made me the angler that I am today, because you immediately realize that this is a learnable trait. It's just time and effort. It's 10,000 hours, and I was determined to become that person that could be at least a threat in a tournament, if not win one. So it helped me build that up, and unfortunately that tournament ceased to exist. I would say just pre-COVID, I think, around that time frame. And so I always kind of missed having that tournament in the area. So our closest tournaments for that caliber of fishing were Matagami, which is about 4 hours away from me, and then slowly things coming in the Sault Ste. Marie area. And actually, Big Jim was our MC at these Sagamuk events, so he remembers that very well. Yeah. So I kind of missed it, and I always wanted to bring it back, and I just never really knew how to get that foothold. As you know, it's like any other project. Well, you got to get off on the right foot, and I couldn't figure that out. And the more and more I got involved with tournaments, I started doing 4 or 5 of them a year, following the NOWT trail, doing the circuits and meeting all kinds of people and going all over Ontario fishing. You start to understand more. And I was really, really keen on more on the back side of things. And I know I'm going on a tangent here, but buckle up. We're get to know with Cristal and places like that, and Chantal, and they would help you out. And you start learning the little tricks and traits. And my experience too with Rock and Roar was a local concert we had here. I was on the board with that as well. So you start to learn how to talk with sponsors and stuff like that. And we get going on that kind of stuff. And then it just said, you know what? I think I have enough momentum in my mind to get this off the ground. And luckily for me, I went and approached the Township of Spanish, and I talked to Pam in the office, and obviously you met our mayor with
yep.
All in the whole group, and I pitched them the idea, and I said, this is what I want to do. This is my intention. And as a boater, I kind of understood the marina complex very well, and they were 100% behind it. They were more behind it than I was kind of expecting, and so that I was able to hit the ground running, and we started off with you, myself, and Nick, and I never looked back. And people don't realize that it's a 365-day a year job. As soon as you finish the tournament, you get a breather for a day, and then you start worrying about next year. And we had a very successful year last year, and we couldn't have done it without our sponsors and the people involved. It's just been amazing, and we try to put on a very good show, and I hope we did, and I hope people come back to enjoy it.
Speaking of that, and well said, Danny, even though you thought you went on a tangent, I thought you did a great job explaining it. But one of the returning sponsors, of course, and we are going to be posting throughout, leading up to the tournament throughout the summer, Trading Post. I mean, not only a great guy in Mike Hudson, but a top shelf tackle store. Anybody that's been to Sault Ste. Marie and has seen this place, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But why is this so special to you, Danny?
Well, I mean, of course, it's a great store. They do very well. They're really supportive of their surrounding areas. But Mike's also a close friend of mine. He's actually turning into one of my tournament partners more and more. But he believes in it. He likes doing these events. He wants to be involved with them, and so he's one of those guys is no nonsense. So if you pitch him an idea and he thinks it's full of shit, he's just like, oh well, thanks, But what if he loves it? He's diving both feet into it, and luckily for us, he was actually the first sponsor I spoke to for the event, and I said, I want you to do this, and he didn't even hesitate. He said, I'm in. So couldn't ask for anything better, and I really appreciate everything he's done.
It's awesome. And as I said, I had the pleasure of meeting the staff down there when the Sault Ste. Marie event was going on, and we interviewed their spokesperson, PR rep, and I was just blown away at how professional that organization is. But as I said, you walk in, it's a one-stop shop. It's got everything there. Whether it's a general store approach that you need. So any quick snacks or any kitchen item that you can think of is there. Plus, they've got the fishing section. Plus, they've got the hunting section upstairs.
Yeah, hunting headquarters. Yes,
everything's there. So
you get your ice cream there. You got clothing, and it's part of the. I think it's called the Chippewa Outpost. So that's the corporation. But they have so many different buildings and so many different facilities. They sell so much. Christina's got a clothing store there and everything else. And like yesterday, if you would have walked in there in the afternoon, I was behind the counter. Pricing catch and cook and putting it on the shelves, so we real friendly. We all talk to everybody. It's a fun place to be, and everybody gets along great.
And it's amazing to see, like Nick's done a lot, Jason's done a lot. I know you've done some product profiles. So it's I would have to say, Gagnon's down here, and Big Jim can attest to this, and Cooper Gallant and some of the big names that do walk through the door of that place. It is that family atmosphere, but they invite you, they encourage, that kind of stuff. And it's awesome to see you guys stepping up to the plate and being able to do product profiles and sort of, pumping the tires of some of the products that are on the shelf. So great all around effort.
Nick's their main cast manager. I think he does more product profiles than anybody else. And he spends a lot of time there, and he does a great job, And he does. I love going there. I really do. I'm really comfortable and relaxed there. And it's, I got my Sioux place that I'm comfortable with, and I've got my Sudbury place that I'm comfortable with, and I'm getting more and more in the middle. Obviously in Espanola as well with Garnet. So
speaking of that, obviously the next one is Garnet's, and they're near and dear to my heart because we had a special someone helping us out as a volunteer for the first time. And she knocked it out of the park, so much so that I thought maybe we scared her away because the amount of work. And I tell you, I can't thank her enough. She was just awesome. And her name escapes me right now.
Georgie.
I wanted to say Brooke. I don't know why I wanted to say Brooke, but glad you helped me out there. But Georgie, I'm telling you, she was a stellar hand. And I'll be honest, one of the pillars of why it was such a successful event. She was so gung-ho to do everything. Nothing scared her. It was the first time she's done any of it. And she wants to come back. And the fact that, here's the thing, not that she wants to just come back, but Garnet's has come back in a huge way. And we'll talk about that as well. But again, Garnet's, it's a one-stop shop if you're looking for anything that's outdoor related, that's going to get some stuff done, or maybe enjoy the outdoors like an ATV side-by-side. It's all there, and great pricing. They stand behind their product, and as I said, Georgie and Tyler, I can't say enough good things about them just as people, but as store owners, that is somewhere I would want to spend my money if I had it.
I've known Tyler, especially for a long time through the tournament circuit. I've known Georgie for less, but from a business standpoint, you're constantly amazed when I walk in there because I've known it. They purchased it, I would say pre-COVID, and they kept the original owner's name, so it's Garnet's. It's not their name, but which is a smart move, I thought. So, but it's Honda, Husqvarna, and stuff like that. But you start talking to him with the rentals, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I've got that. I'm like, "Geez, you don't realize how much they actually have." So. They got a good reputation, and like they're just great people to be around. They got a good staff in there, with Mike and those guys in there. They can handle everything you need and take care of you. And yeah, I've been starting to spend a lot more time in there. Just now, I've got an excuse that I'm in Espanola just to stop and have a coffee and talk fishing. And obviously, Tyler enjoys it, especially with our second venture. That's more up his alley, so he's been really enjoying that part of it.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to mention that. But again, big shout out to Garnets. Can't thank you guys enough for stepping up to the plate for a second year and trusting what it is that we're doing. So much so that you're offering up your wife Georgie to help us out as a volunteer. Thanks very much.
I guess we're dropping the ball a little bit too. Like we kind of missed out on the fact like the Trading Post and Garnets, like they are some of our staple prizes, like our big fish prizes. Comes from the Trading Post, so we guarantee cash value for each day for your top three walleye, and then the top female anglers, the top three females. That's sponsored by Garnet. So we really wanted to kind of bring the big fish prizes back that we see in Sagamok because we liked it, and I wanted to really highlight I find there's a lot of women in the fishing industry, and I don't find their prizing is recognized enough to say. I'm trying to say that pretty diplomatically here. I hope I didn't get wrong, but so I wanted to make sure that we offered them something very good prizes. Both of those guys became the foundations for those prizes, and we're very lucky that other sponsors have jumped on top of that, and that they were very graciously to allow that. So we were able to build up these big categories, but they are definitely the staples and the foundations for those for sure.
100%. Obviously, Moxie's is another company up there that does a lot of sponsoring. They like to get involved with a whole bunch of events that are local. They support, because I see their name everywhere when it comes to some of the northern events. Speak a little bit to their involvement and the kind of people they are, Danny.
Well, they got the Trading Post is my Sioux store. Moxie's is my Sudbury store. So I'm actually going to be there tomorrow to get my stuff. But I've known Mark for a very, very long time, and Kevin, the owners, Moxims. And then obviously we got the kids, we got Braden and Nolan that participate in the actual event, and they've been working with college forever. And they've been very handy. They've been very useful. And I've spent a lot more, at least 10 years dealing with Moxie. So he's been very good. He sponsors a lot of events. So we're very happy that he was able to get on board with us. And, I don't know. I must be a good salesman sometimes because I pitch these ideas and then I say, I also got another idea. And there's another one that says, yeah, I'll jump on that too. So we'll get to that later.
At the end of the day, as long as you're getting it done, that's truly, if you're sponsoring something, you obviously want to see your logo. You want to see it go to, an upstanding organization, an event that, gets people and builds community in the whole 9 yards. And at the end of the day, we certainly don't take it for granted that these folks are involved. We try to put on a good show because we know it's an investment. It's an investment in their bottom line, and it's coming out of their pocket, whether they get tax benefits from it or not, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they are investing in their community, and we can't thank them enough for doing that because
absolutely. And one thing I've kind of noticed whereas Moxie's and the Trading Post have always kind of felt, they've always kept that old bait shop feel. Like when we go and get our minnows and our worms, and you can have a conversation and people walking, you don't even know who they are. You just start talking fishing with everybody else. And we're very lucky for us. Some of our other sponsors that we're going to talk about at other shops have brought that feel back in the year. So we have more and more places that are starting to feel more traditional bait shop, I guess you could say. And we're very proud to have them all a part of our tournament.
And we will do our very best to get them all. As I said, I am furiously putting little snippets like this together just so that we can post it on the NCAA Facebook page so folks can get familiar with those who are investing in what it is that we're doing, and of course in their community. Vance's is a bit of an offshoot, because of what they supply, not only some of our competitors, but also those who volunteer.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially with Vance's too. So that's kind of a little sentimental thing. I grew up there, like Vance's Marina, Vance's Campground. That's where I grew up. That's where my boating was. My mother's maiden name is Vance. That was family owned at the time. These are obviously new owners, but they kept the name as well. But they seem to have just fallen into that same footprint and how the family was. So they were very quick to work with us. And last year they donated us a great prize for a giveaway, and they also helped our sponsors, or not our sponsors, but our volunteers. In fact, I think they had you there, right? No, you were at Waterfall.
No, I was up at Waterfall.
You're there this year, so
I will be there this year, and looking forward to it. As I said, not only are they doing great things for us, but they're doing great things to expose anglers to some incredible fishing. And I can't say enough about the Spanish River. Yeah, it's one of those areas that I wish I had spent a lot of my youth, just based on what you have exposed to me and others that took me fishing. This is an incredible fishery, and not only is this a great place, but you have a potential to catch a personal best in just about 4 or 5 different species.
And many have. And I've seen 8-pound smallmouth come out of this fishery. I've obviously 15+ pound walleye. I've seen 50+ inch muskie come out of here. I've seen 200-pound sturgeon caught out of here. So, and big salmon and trout. So like it's pretty impressive. Because it's obviously it's lake year on, and we have those availabilities. You never know what you're actually going to hook into, right? But they're great people. Advances. It's nice, centrally located. It's a good facility, and it's a real like traditional camp. So when you're coming up here, you know what you've got yourself into, and you're right on the river. So many can see their posts that they have all the time. They're constantly posting the river and what it looks like in the marina and stuff like that. So we're very happy to have on board, because realistically, people forget we have to take care of our volunteers, and without that, we would be really, really handicapped. And so they've helped us out tremendously with that.
Cool beans. This one is near and dear to my heart, because everybody knows I love tuna, the tuna steaks, and of course, the Bolton Foods and Sean Leonard. I mean, Danny, I'm going to let you talk about it, because it certainly means a lot more, just because not only is Sean a good friend, but my Lord, has he stepped up in a huge way this year. And I'll let you take it from there.
He's turned into quite the salesman, let's put it that way. But we're all getting fatter. I left the Sioux last week 7 pounds heavier thanks to him. But we take him into those hot dogs he had were amazing. But yes, thanks to Bolton Foods. So Sean Leonard, obviously sales rep, and Doug, I can't remember Doug's last name, the owner of Bolton Foods, they're supplying our steak dinner for all the anglers Friday nights. So that's amazing. So not only like we feed everybody, but now we're actually giving you steak dinners instead of pizza dinners all the time. So we're building up already. The quality of food that comes out of there is absolutely amazing. Like, it is top-notch food. You're getting a good deal on everything: the seafood, the scallop, the tuna, the shrimp, the steaks. It doesn't matter where you are, and they're all over Ontario. So look them up. Bolton Foods. They come right to your door, and you can't complain about that. And
no. And Pete LeDuc had the pleasure. I brought a few steaks home, tuna steaks, and he said, "Scottie, where on earth did you get those? Those were delicious." Yeah. And I told him, and I know he's been looking in the phone book and online to try and find the closest Bolton Foods to where he is. And
reach out to us. We'll get the guy who you need to get a hold of. We'll send him right to you.
Amen. Sounds good. Last but not least, in terms of profiling some of our sponsors, upcoming, of course, is the Early Bird Prize. We're going to be doing the first giveaway May long weekend. So again, if you have registered and if you are one of the teams that has, you have the opportunity to win something that I thought was kind of cool, because at the end of the day, Dan, we all know the time that is invested by tournament anglers. So when that, when the snow and the ice finally melts, we're chomping at the bit to get out on the water, but we also have some stuff that we got to get done around the house. So the NCAA wants to help you with that. So we're giving not 1, not 2, but 3 of these prizes from Interline. And I want to thank Interline Wholesale Hardware, who I deal with. They have stepped up in a big way to help you anglers get some of that must-do list done. We're giving 4 of those away, and we start May long weekend.
Is it May long weekend or May? I think it's a week later, May 24th. We'll post that. Keep us up because now you got me confused on that. But
It might be. It might. I just thought I said long weekend because it was May 2-4, but yeah, you might be right.
because that's 2 weeks away. Because we're reminders that we got people that registered, and as soon as you've registered, you're qualified. But it's pay your entry fee and everything else. We'll put you in the draw, and you can win that first prize. And I can't. This just kind of blew me away. Like not only that, nice enough to get one of these, but to get 3 of these to give away. It's very impressive, and we can't thank Interline enough. It's
100%
helping us step away and from our provide such a good tournament for everybody. Just I want people to walk away feeling that they walked away with something.
Absolutely, that's what it's all about. I couldn't agree more, Danny. But again, I believe you are right. Is May 24th that we're giving the first one away. So make sure if you haven't registered, get registered so that you get a chance to win. Because not only if you register early are you going to get a chance to win one, but you'll be able to get a chance to win all 3. Whereas someone that say gets registered after May 24th, you're only going to get a chance to win 2 of them.
One.
Well, you'll be only available for 2 draws. Whereas if you register early, you got 3 draws, 3 chances to win. But it's anyway, awesome to see. Awesome to be able to give this stuff away, and if we can tick a few of those things off the list, it's a bonus. Last but not least, of course, we are going to talk about the weekend series. This was something that you've dreamt up. I don't know if it was over a night in the sauna or how it all came to be, but I think it is absolutely brilliant, and it certainly helps our cause. Whatever we are able to take in from this weekend series. Of course, we're going to be giving it back to folks that come to the NCAA tournament. So pay it forward, get involved, go out and catch a great fish or 6, and get a chance to win some great prizes.
Yeah, so this is kind of like a lot to do with Canadian Fishing Network, with CFN, what you guys do with your fish offs and stuff like that, and these ideas, and some of the other smaller events that I participated in. And of course, we do our pre-fishing event the same similar fashion. And so Tyler, he's a big fan of online events, and as am I. I fish quite a few of them, and we had some discussions about that, and I approached him. So Tyler, Garnet Rentals, sorry. I said, hey, I have an idea. I want to do 4 qualifying events, and we'll host a championship, and will you and Honda put up a generator as a prize for the championship? And they said, absolutely. So that's what we ended up getting. So Garnet's started off with the NCAA, and they've decided to branch into this year as our title sponsor for the weekend series. And it doesn't stop there. We had Moxie's, Fishy Bang Bang, who's new to us this year. Trading Post came on board with this year as well, and we have Sure Catch Baits. So they are all individually sponsoring one of each qualifying event. And how the qualifying event works is it's only a weekend series. It'll start on Friday, end on the Sunday, except for the May long. It's going to start on the Friday and then on the Monday. And everybody who's registered for that, you participate for a cash prize. Your registration goes back into a cash payout as well as a sponsor payout. But the top 5 anglers that win that, you advance to July's qualifier. And we're going to take 5 from every event. So when the championship comes down, there's only going to be 20 of you guys fishing for cash prizes from the registration as well, and plus the 2200 watt Honda generators. So it'll happen pretty quickly. And we have more ideas in the works. Obviously, we're going to see how this all works out. But we're going to have... and it's a stringer of 3, so it's a little different. It's not a one-off, so it's your 3 biggest walleye. And how we've done that too, it's Fish Donkey is going to be converting that length to a weight. So you'll have a total weight on there. It's colorable, so you can catch as many as you want. We want to see the big fish go back, so you have to take a bump board picture and you have to take a release video in order for your entry to count. This is brand new, so we're working it out. So we may learn some things real quickly that we should have done, and we'll change for the next time around. But I think we've got it figured out. It's not like this is we're reinventing the wheel here, and we look forward to having many people on. It's $60, get you into a chance to win some cash and potentially win a generator.
Awesome stuff. And the fact that we're getting folks fishing for the sake of winning prizes, and it's just fun to be a part of something like this, because the competition level Although, let's face it, everybody loves bragging rights, but at the end of the day, if you can win a little bit of money and have some fun doing it, that's a win-win. But initially, you had this set up for 1 or 2 zones, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Have you opened this up even bigger now?
So originally it was zone 14, zone 10, which is where we live here in this area because it was with the NCAA. And then we've had a few anglers reach out outside of those in zone 8s and zone 7. And I just really didn't see what was holding us back. So we decided to, and I talked to our sponsors, they had no problems with this. So we've opened this up to the whole province. So anywhere in the province of Ontario, you register, you can be a part of this and fish, and good luck, best of luck to you.
Sonia, I don't have a lot of walleye around me, but one thing I see is that walleye anglers certainly are passionate about their species. I don't know if that's directed at me, Sonia, but yes, no, 100%. And, areas like Hamilton Harbor, don't tell too many. There's some big walleye in Hamilton Harbor. They're starting to show up around Toronto Island, Sonia. There have been reports of them being caught in the mouths of the Humber River, for one. So there are areas, they are kind of showing up, and they're there, and there's big ones. I know Kevin Fernandez has one location that he frequents, that he keeps on the down low, that he's found them. He's found where the big walleye are in the Toronto area. So they are there. You got to find them. But needless to say, this is awesome. I think, Danny, well done, buddy. And the fact that you've opened it up to the entire province, son.
So this is a Fish Donkey tournament that we're hosting with us. So if you go onto the Fish Donkey app or log into fishdonkey.com, you just look up NCAA. You'll find our 4 events. They're all active and ready to go. You can sign up for each individual one. But if you want to follow more for information, you can go to our Facebook page, the North Channel Walleye Open, and where you have not only the weekend series information, but you will also have the main event, NCAA, and all of our sponsor information as well there. And please like and follow.
That's awesome. So registrations, Dan's already touched on that. We don't have the link, Dave. I'm assuming that's you, Dave. We don't have the link, but go to fishdonkey.com, and I believe it will be a logo that you'll be able to find and register there, correct?
It's super easy. If you go on the fishdonkey.com, and once you got to log in, obviously you have to create your account through Fishdonkey. For everybody has to do that. But once you've done that, the search bar, you just put in NCAA, and you'll find all 4 tournaments on the spot, and you can just pick the one you want to register for, or register for all 4 of them. The qualifying tournament, the championship, that'll be an invitational only. Obviously, the top 5 from each event will get an invitation sent to them.
Right on. Cool stuff. Well, on that note, I want to say that we've certainly covered everything that is related to the NCAA. We're also here for another reason, which of course is the Compre Conquer All Challenge, and we will talk about that right after this. So a big shout out to Shimano for allowing us the ability to do this. Of course, they asked if it could be done because it is a new line of Compre rods that they've come out redesigned, and they want to pump the tires of. And they thought, what better way than, of course, to collaborate with CFN, where the CFN Fish Off has had great success. It is going to branch off, and this is just one of those branches that we've created, which is the Compre Conquer All Challenge. The CFN Fish Off is typically a multi-species driven event, and it's always done online, and it's more about the number of species. So the more species you catch, the better chances you have winning weekly draw prizes and the overall prizes that Shimano has graciously given us over the years. This one's a little bit different. But it is still across Canada. So it's open to all Canadians. Basically, our logo is small fish, big prizes. And again, it's presented by Shimano. Basically, the overview is anyone fishing in Canadian waters can participate in this challenge. Provinces, territories, it doesn't matter. The Compre Conquer All Challenge is free event for all ages, and again is sponsored by Shimano. All entries must be submitted using the MyCatch mobile app, which is available for download both on Apple and Android. It has not been uploaded, unfortunately, just yet. We're still trying to hash out the dates. We had initially wanted to start at May long weekend. That is tentative right now. We might push it back a week just because of the logistics of getting everything organized. But needless to say, it's going to be pretty big if we're opening this up. And I said, Dan, you opening up the NCAA weekend series to the entire province. Can you imagine having a Canada-wide event running at the same time?
No.
Yeah.
That's why I had to put some kind of boundaries on it. Because,
So again, I want to thank Mike Consul for helping putting this out, and of course, a big shout out to the judges. Those were the folks that we really had to sort of. Are you guys okay doing this? Because the unfortunate thing is, as soon as the Compre Conquer All Challenge is done, they don't get much time off, and then we start right back up with the CFN Fish Off, which we all know. And last year we hit benchmarks and targets that we never expected. Like 6,500 fish. 6,500 fish were submitted in last year's event, which, again, we've never seen. But basically, we're hoping the same thing happens with this, and with Shimano's help, we're hoping to get there. Just some skim thoughts and details. One Shimano prize pack will be given away each week. Every fish entered on the MyCatch app each week earns you one ballot into that specific weekly draw. All fish need to meet a 6-inch minimum requirement. So again, you're going to have to make sure that we do the same thing as the Fish Off. You have to validate your bump board. We do have a bump board company that is the official bump board for CFN and the CFN Fish Off, and of course now the Compre Challenge. Go Large Fish Ruler, they have some great bump boards available. So again, if you're looking for a bump board that you want to compete in one of our events, these bump boards, you don't have to verify with us. Mike and I have already looked over it. The owners have been extremely accommodating, and they've made sure that all of their bump boards measure starting at the 6-inch mark. So it's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. You'll know if your fish qualifies. Any species eligibility that are on the list can be entered. There is a maximum of 12 entries per day. Any combination of eligible species can apply. So there will be weekly draws happening every Tourney Tuesday with Mike and I at 7:30. And we're hoping that it's going to start either May long weekend or the week after, but stay tuned to that because we have not made the official announcement on the date. To be eligible for a particular weekly draw, at least one fish must be entered that particular week using the MyCatch app. Enter up to 12, as I said, eligible fish per day to increase your chances of winning. Note, participants are only eligible to win one weekly prize draw if a previous weekly winner is selected. And if that's the case, it will be redrawn. And Mike and I always make sure there's always a backup to the backup so that in the event that we do have two people that have won or the same person won 2 weeks in a row, we make sure that we try to spread the wealth out. You know what I mean, Danny? Just spread out. So with that being said, of course, it is the Compre Conquer All Challenge. It's a unique tournament, not really unique to CFN world because we have the Fish Off. But what is unique to us is they are specific, much like some of the multi-species tournaments that you see online already. These are species specific, but they are open up, Danny, to a wide variety of anglers all across Canada. So, freshwater species. if we're talking panfish, these are panfish. Can you name me 6 freshwater panfish that you would target up in your area?
My area? Yeah, I would go perch, crappie, rock bass, sunfish. We're gonna go 6, eh? Exclusively, we do have some white bass. I would probably go that way. Would you get that snuck in there as a 6th one? But and
Well, you said the sunfish family, which, as we all know,
yeah,
has several
species. Yeah,
yeah. So these are the freshwater species. And Danny, let me know which ones you've caught and which ones you still need to catch. I've caught one of those, pumpkin seed.
Oh yeah,
bluegill. Yes, I've had the pleasure. That's Big Jim's favorite fish right there.
They're tasty. I don't know.
Yes, they are. Green sunfish, not super common, but I have caught one of those. Red breast sunfish, I have to say I've never caught. Then, of course, we get into the yellow perch, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
But there's also some other perch, like the white perch, which are very popular down in Lake Erie and the Detroit River, down in that area. Black crappie, as we mentioned. Then there is obviously the white crappie, which are distinctly different in their color makeup. White bass. Have you ever caught a white bass? I know I haven't.
We've caught them on. No, that wasn't. I'm sorry, I got the mix up. But they do catch them out in Sturgeon Fall on Lake Nipissing. They do very, very well for them. They'll actually be starting up anytime now soon. Now, maybe I shouldn't let out people's secrets, but yeah, there's a good population of them.
No, that's good. That you know what? Let's let the folks know where these fish are. White bass. I don't believe I've ever caught a white bass, and unless I may have caught one. Was it last year during that Thursday event? Yeah, I think we were trolling, and I reeled one of these things in. You're right.
I thought I caught some. I don't remember if I caught any on Lake Erie a few years back, but I know we got drum, we got walleye, but and we got the shad, but I don't think we got any white bass. I thought maybe we did, but it all blends into one. When you're fishing a tournament, pre-fishing, it's like 5 days of just fish, and you kind of mix up. But I know, like Sturgeon Falls in the Sturgeon River, that the mouth there, they used to catch a lot of them, and I believe they still do.
That's awesome. Credit River in the spring. There you go, Sonia. Boom, boom. Again, this is a free tournament, so if you are a multi-species angler, this is right up your alley. Obviously, next, now this is a fish that I can honestly say I have not caught. You ever caught a mooneye? I
have not. No, I think that's more of a northwestern Ontario and westerly kind of species. That's where I see people catch them. But personally, I've not caught one.
Yeah, they're big out in Manitoba as well. But I can honestly say I think I've seen one, but I've never caught one. And I think we've got 1 or 2 left. We've got the goldeneye that's next, I believe. Yeah, goldeneye. And, of course, it's indicative of that golden eye. It's not as big as the moon eye, similar shape in terms of the body form, but that gold eye is what gives it away. And those are the freshwater fish species that are going to be up to you to target, and hopefully you can catch all of them in 1 week. Now, we're going to get to some species of fish that are saltwater or brackish water because they are found in marshes and coastal waters. So this is a whole different list. And this is one of the reasons why we went this way and went in this direction, because I think we were going to only go with like maybe 4 species originally, but I thought there's no way we're going to get folks on the east and west coast or even up in the territories involved if we don't have a saltwater component. So the judges have done a fantastic job researching areas because we wanted to make sure every angler had at least 4 species that they could target in their area. So we've managed to do that. And these are some of the saltwater species. And Danny, I don't think I've caught a single one. First one up is a cunner, otherwise known as a sea perch. You ever caught one of these?
No, I haven't.
They're very tasty. I remember being at a restaurant and having one of these. They're very, very tasty fish. But no, I've never had one. Now, pile perch. No, can't say I have. No, 100%. Then, of course, we have there's another perch that's coming up. The red tail surf perch. Yeah, no, can't say I've had one of those either.
Nope.
And I think we got, shiner perch. That's the last one. Again, these are all fish that are considered, I would say, panfish. for the lack of a better way, or coarse fish. But they are easily accessible by folks that live either on the east and west coasts, inland, Northwest Territories. You have 4 species at least available to you. The more, obviously, the merrier. And as we mentioned, in terms of the number of entries and the number of ballots that you're able to attain, it's right up your alley. So if you can multi-species and you have access to more than 4, this is a tournament that's really going to benefit you. The date's going to be posted soon. Hopefully it'll be uploaded on Angler's Atlas, just like Fish Donkey. You will go to the logo. Once you see the logo, you register there, and the rest is pretty straightforward. Mike will be on in subsequent Power Hours to discuss some of the rules in more detail. But yeah, that is the Compre Conquer All Challenge. We're really looking forward to it.
And the online tournaments, for those that haven't experienced them, they're pretty easy to do, and they have good. Every single one of them that I've ever experienced, whether it's Fish Donkey or e-tournaments or Anglers Atlas, stuff like that, they have practice tournaments. So you can actually go in, practice easily. It's not something that's hard to do, and it saves your picture to your camera roll. So if there's any issues, you have proof that'll back you up. So, don't be shy when it comes to that, because it's surprising how many people that we bumped into, and less now I find, but it's once they realize, I can go practice, I can do a couple of fish, and then they get the hang of it, and then they turn into pros. But I know for myself personally, fishing these, and the more I think of it, and I know you've been doing these online ones for quite a while now, it's really your imagination is the limitations here, especially when you're doing events like this here nationally and different species and stuff like that.
And this is it. And I want to say that there's been quite a few fish offers, if you will, participants that have participated in the CFN Fish Off that have given us great feedback, positive feedback that we would never have expected, because they're always catching big fish. And there's several of them, dozens of them, that told us the CFN Fish Off, I can't thank you guys enough, because I've never been so excited to catch, a red-nosed sucker or just a regular creek chub, but species that, right? You wouldn't go out and celebrate catching one of those. It's kind of like, oh my Lord, okay, maybe I'll put it in the bait bucket and use it later. But they go out and they target them, and then of course now we're forcing them to get the 8 inches. In this, it's only 6 because some of these fish don't grow that big, so we had to drop it down to 6. But during the CFN Fish Off, it's 8, and the excitement that it causes is just incredible. More importantly, and I think this is the part that doesn't get talked about enough, online tournaments speak to the younger generation. We all talk about, we gotta get them off the devices, right? Got to get them off the devices. Well, I've always said, instead of going that route, and I appreciate people that have that opinion, let's incorporate it. If everybody's in tune to their device, doesn't matter if you're young or old, everybody's in tune to their device. If that being the case, everybody likes using apps. Everyone likes to have it downloaded so that they can use it. And if it's going to win you some prizes or get you involved in a community event, even better. But what this truly does is get that younger generation interested in fishing, because they get to use their device. And to me, that's just an absolute win-win.
It's also too, like, there's no boundaries in a sense. It doesn't matter if you're shore fishing, kayak fishing, dinghy, you're from a boat, cruiser, wherever you're at, bridge fishing, you're involved. You can find your species, your timelines are all the same. And obviously we tend to preach catch and release more than anything else. And the beauty about that is there's very minimal fish handling. Once you catch the fish, I mean, realistically, you catch them, make sure they're healthy to go back in the live well or take their time. But if not, bump them as fast as you can and get them back in the water. And so there's minimal contact on the fishery, in a sense, as minimal as we can make it, of course.
100%. That's the other reason that we truly love it, because of course, catch and release is something that we hold near and dear to our heart and try to promote on a regular basis. But it's not necessary. If you want to take some of your catches home and enjoy them, just use Catch and Cook, as Danny said. Catch and Cook is the new coating mix, the official coating mix of CFN. And we've had quite a few recipes shared by some of our legacy members that I can't wait to take these up to some of our retreats that are going on this year, because some of the combinations of these spices is to die for.
I just seen the new dill pickle one there. Got me really excited.
Danny, anybody in CFN land that has had a pack has said, you open up that bag and you know right away that it's still pickle spice because the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
room.
When you get back to catch and cook, I'm sure Jay has caught a lot of moon eyes and golden eyes. So there's
Heck yeah.
I don't know what they taste like.
I can't imagine either, but I would imagine they're probably very similar to like a herring, like a lake herring or something like that, like a greasy fish. But they're good once they put them in oil and coat them all up.
Yeah.
Danny, that is pretty much the hour. I don't have anything other than a thank you to you and everybody has been watching. But is there anything else that you wanted to mention before we go?
No, I think we've said enough, and everybody watched, everybody joined in. Thank you very much, and there you go. Mike's going to tell you where to catch it, where to find it. Now that we've talked about him, now he's got to chip in.
Right on cue. Yeah. Right on cue. Well done, Mike.
But no, I'm good. I think we said a lot. We got a lot to go. We don't want to overwhelm people, but feel free to reach out to us any questions with that as we build and promote more. And seriously, if you got ideas from our way, we're very game to try anything, and it's fun. I mean, as much as I love tournament fishing, I'm really starting to enjoy being on this side of it as well. And there's more bitching and moaning though sometimes. From Scottie gets pretty upset there.
Yeah, I'm a tough guy to deal with, I'll tell you. Holy smokes. Well, on that note, Danny, as I said, thanks so much for your help in putting all this together. And, of course, having that creative mind and thinking outside the box, because at the end of the day, it's all about getting folks fishing and whatever we could do to, cover costs, generate maybe a little bit of money for the future, and in this case, offer up free opportunities for folks just to get out fishing, have fun, and still have that competitive edge. Again, there's something there for everyone, and we look forward to you all participating in your own way, shape, and form. So on that note, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Thanks for all the great comments, and follow along because Danny and I will be here hopefully every Wednesday going forward. And then we're going to be giving away, of course, that first prize pack from Interline, May 24th.
You said that, I'm like, that's just around the corner. So here we go.
Yeah, baby. All right, Danny. All the best, pal. Peace.